Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Tracy scores Drew and Willow video Ace's former babysitter still has camera access. General Hospital, GH, spoilers reveal that Michael Corinthos, Chad Doe, may not be the only one who now has access to a stunning cheating video. There may be somebody else who scored that scandalous shocker, so let's talk about how things might play out. Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, and Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson, don't know it yet, but their hookup was caught on camera in the Q playroom and nursery area. There's a baby monitor cam set up in that room that turned out to be motion activated. Drew and Willow were obviously giving it a whole lot of motion to pick up on. Now Michael has seen the video of Willow and Drew doing the deed. But what if Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, has seen it, too? There are good reasons to think Tracy might still have access to that playroom camera on her own phone. KH fans will recall that while Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, and Kevin Collins, John Lindstrom, were out of town, Ace Cassadine, Jay and Joey Clay was sent to live at the Quartermain mansion. Tracy made comical complaints about taking care of Ace multiple times, so she was on babysitter duty more than she would have liked. As a result, Tracy probably watched Ace on that playroom cam on plenty of occasions. Although Ace ultimately went home with Kevin and Laura, Tracy may not have been in any big hurry to delete the app from her phone. If Tracy still has it, then she may have gotten the same alert Michael did and watched that same sizzling video. Could Tracy use this as leverage and help Ned Quartermain, Wally Kurth, make another attempt to gain the upper hand on Drew? Tracy definitely has a ruthless side, so we wouldn't put it past her. Since Michael didn't let on like he'd seen the video, Drew may become desperate to keep it out of his hands. Perhaps Drew could hide it from Willow as well, and do whatever Tracy wants to bury the blunder. Of course, Drew can't run from the evidence and Michael's wrath since he's already seen the sleazy action. This video is bound to cause a ton of drama, so stay tuned for updates on all the startling news and backlash. General Hospital spoilers say Willow and Drew will have to face the betrayal consequences sooner or later, so we'll bring you predictions on their downfall. In the bustling halls of General Hospital, a scandalous plot is unfolding, one that could shake Port Charles and every character caught in the crossfire. Tracy Quartermain has always been cunning, shrewd, and relentless in her pursuit of what she wants. But even her longtime allies and family may not anticipate the lengths she's gone to this time. Her newest scheme involves none other than a covered video of Drew Kane and Willow Tate, two unsuspecting people who unknowingly found themselves in the viper's nest of Tracy's deceitful machinations. But how did Tracy stumble upon such a compromising video? And why does Ace Cassadine's former babysitter have a part to play in this? The setup: Tracy's curiosity unleashed. It began innocently enough, or at least as innocent as any of Tracy's exploits could ever be. Tracy had been suspicious of Drew and Willow for some time, catching wind of their closeness and sensing an unusual dynamic that could be ripe for exploitation. The two had recently shared more time together, confiding in each other about their struggles and finding a source of understanding in friendship. But in Port Charles, the line between friendship and scandal can blur all too easily. Tracy's curiosity got the best of her. She was willing to dig up whatever skeletons Drew and Willow were hiding, even if that meant diving into dark corners to find them. And when she discovered that a former babysitter of Ace Cassadine's still had secret camera access to various locations throughout town, Tracy saw her chance. The hidden surveillance. Ace's babysitter's involvement. Ace's former babysitter had come from a line of loyal Cassadine employees, ones who knew that secrets were currency and currency was power. Before departing from her duties, This babysitter had planted a series of hidden cameras around areas connected to the Cassadine estate, keeping them live even after she had left. For reasons best kept to herself, she'd retained access to the feeds, knowing they might someday provide valuable information she could sell or use for leverage. Tracy, ever the strategist, caught wind of this. She approached the babysitter with an offer she couldn't refuse. Tracy would pay handsomely for any juicy intel, no questions asked. As Tracy examined the array of footage available, she struck gold. One video feed captured a private encounter between Drew and Willow, an intimate moment that, while innocent enough, could easily be twisted to look like much more. Tracy's endgame. Why the video matters. With this video in her hands, Tracy felt her power surge. Willow, as Michael Corinthos' beloved partner, stood at the heart of the Corinthos family's internal balance. And Drew, as a key player in both the Quartermain and Kane legacies, held influence in multiple circles. If Tracy played her cards right, this video could give her the upper hand she'd been craving over nearly every major family in Port Charles. Her mind raced through the possibilities. She could drive a wedge between Willow and Michael, sow discord within the Corinthos family, or create a reason for Drew to seek her alliance. The Quartermain household's rising suspicion. Back at the Quartermain mansion, Tracy kept her cards close to her chest. However, her suspicious behavior hadn't gone unnoticed. Brooklyn, always wary of her grandmother's schemes, sensed that Tracy was up to something big. She could see the sly glances and private phone calls, the way Tracy would smirk whenever she thought she was alone. Knowing her grandmother, Brooklyn wasn't about to ignore these signals, especially when she noticed Tracy taking a particular interest in Drew and Willow. Brooklyn decided to investigate, covertly following Tracy to a meeting with Ace's former babysitter. Though she couldn't hear the details, she gleaned enough from the context to realize Tracy was using surveillance to spy on someone in Port Charles. As she pieced things together, Brooklyn realized the target was Drew, and possibly Willow. With her heart pounding, she knew she'd need to warn them before Tracy's scheme unraveled their lives. Drew and Willow's shared confession. Oblivious to Tracy's looming threat, Drew and Willow met at a quiet spot in the park. Willow had been struggling with her health and the lingering fear of what might come, while Drew felt the weight of his complicated family ties bearing down on him. They talked, sharing the burdens they both carried, grateful to have each other as a source of comfort. But as they spoke, a spark ignited. Neither of them was sure if it was purely emotional or something deeper. A quiet intimacy forged through hardship and understanding. They didn't act on it, and they both knew the lines they couldn't cross. But under the watchful lens of Ace's babysitter's hidden camera, the moment could be easily misconstrued, especially in the hands of someone like Tracy. Tracy makes her move. Armed with the footage, Tracy began to pull the strings. She knew how to craft the perfect narrative, framing the encounter as a betrayal that could devastate both Michael and Carly. All Tracy needed was to plant the seed in the right minds, and she knew just where to start. First, she casually dropped hints to Carly about watching her family closely. It was a cryptic warning, but Carly picked up on it immediately. She confronted Tracy, who feigned innocence, saying she simply wanted to protect the Quartermains and their allies from potential threats. But as she left, she smirked, knowing Carly's suspicions were now set to simmer. Next, Tracy leaked the video anonymously, sending it to a low-level tabloid in town, ensuring the footage would come across as exposed. She knew that even if the video never fully proved anything inappropriate, it would be enough to spark rumors. And in Port Charles, rumors had a way of snowballing into something much bigger. The fallout, secrets and suspicions. Within hours, the video began making its rounds. Michael was blindsided, feeling a mix of anger and betrayal he couldn't quite explain. He confronted Willow, demanding to know what had happened between her and Drew. Meanwhile, Carly's fury was directed at Drew, accusing him of disrespecting the Corinthos family and threatening their reputation. Drew, for his part, was left scrambling, trying to explain a situation he didn't fully understand himself. At the same time, Brooklyn pieced together enough information to confront Tracy. She knew her grandmother had a hand in the video's circulation, and she was determined to stop the fallout before it could damage everyone involved. She cornered Tracy, demanding the truth. But Tracy, ever defiant, dismissed Brooklyn's concerns, insisting that she was simply doing what was best for their family. Brooklyn, however, had her own plans. Determined to right the wrongs her grandmother had set in motion, she went to Michael and Drew, vowing to help them find a way to clear their names. Together, they began to dig into the mystery of the hidden camera and uncover the truth behind Ace's former babysitter's involvement. The road ahead. Will Tracy's scheme backfire? As Port Charles reels from the scandal, questions linger. Will Tracy's scheme ultimately backfire, forcing her to face the wrath of the very family she sought to control? Can Michael, Drew, and Willow overcome the seeds of doubt that have been planted in their lives? And what will happen if the truth about Ace's former babysitter and her lingering surveillance finally comes to light? With each passing day, the web of deception grows thicker. Tracy may think she holds all the cards, but Port Charles has a way of evening the score. And as secrets surface and alliances are tested, one thing becomes certain: no one is safe from the fallout, least of all Tracy herself.